For this workout, we're going to use a Tabata format. You've heard Dad talk about it. It's 4 minutes of 20 seconds of high work intensity and then 10 seconds of rest back to back. So it's 8 rounds total, 4 minutes. I like to do kind of different movements, so not just one Tabata, kind of multiple. So today's workout that I have put together is 16 minutes total. But because the timers can get a little bit confusing, I figure we'll go over one movement, do the Tabata together, go over the next movement, do that Tabata together, and so on. So we'll have a little bit of rest time between the movements as I describe what we'll be doing next. So our very first movement is a dip. So you can't see me very well back here, I don't believe. So I would use probably a bench similar to what Dad has back here, but because just for visibility purposes that's not going to work very well, I'm going to use a much lower surface than I would ordinarily use. So from here you're going to set your hands right outside your hips, and I'm just kind of grabbing onto the edge of the bench like this so that my palm is at the edge of my bench. From here, I'm just going to slip right off the edge. So I'll show you from the side. So my hands are ideally a little bit wider than I can get on this. I want them just outside your hips, and then from here you're just going to come right off the edge. From here, you're going to dip down and back up, down and back up. To make these easier, you can be in kind of the stance that I'm in with your feet under you and using a little bit of assistance from your knees or from your feet. To make it harder, you're gonna set your feet straight out and do like that. The reason I wouldn't go to a surface this low is because, as you can see, I'm not really getting through a full range. I'm just getting to about here. I really want you about here. So I want you to really be able to get through that full range. I'm actually going to grab a different stool. This one will work very well. Again, a little bit narrow for me, but I'm just going to put my hands on the outside, and from here, notice this is the harder version. Down and back up. A little bit narrow for me, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. Down and back up. Down and back up. So we're going to do this for 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for 4 minutes. Let's get going in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. I'm going to be back here on my bench doing these dips. You're just doing as many as you can do. You don't have to keep up with me. It's just according to what you feel you're able to do. We have 5 seconds. And rest. And now we're resting for 10 seconds. And then we'll be back on. That rest will go by very quick. We are back on. We're doing our dips again. Rest. And I'm going to set my computer up just a little bit differently, but I want you to continue, and you're on doing the dips right here. Keep that same pace going. Here you'll be able to see me a little bit better. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. I know it's not much rest at all. Those muscles get fatigued. If you need to take a little break, take a little break. And we're on. So let's say I'm getting tired, pop those hips up there, rest those arms a little bit, and get back into it. Get a couple reps at a time. And rest. Three, two, one, we're back on. Whew, that's getting difficult. All right, we got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. That was set 5 of 8. We got 3 more. And we are back on. The arms generally will fatigue out quicker than the legs. And that's okay. Just do what you can do. 3, 2, 1. Rest. We're heading into the last minute here, last 2 rounds. And we're on. Three, 2, 1, rest. Three, 2, 1, last round. Three, 2, 1, and done. Good job. All right, I'm going to move my computer back to where it was for these next movements. Okay. All right, so we're done with our first Tabata. The next Tabata is going to be some lunge steps. So this one's going to switch to lower body. You're just going to step out and back up. Then the other side, out and back up. The main pointers here are that you want to step out far enough that when you sink down, that knee is sitting over the ankle. So if you step really close, you're going to end up like this. And that heel is probably going to pop up. That's not what I want. I want you to step out far enough that you can descend straight down and keep that heel driving through the floor. I want you to go down as far as you can. Ideally, you're able to go all the way down and touch your knee. If you can only come here, that's perfectly fine. Another pointer on this, a lot of times folks will want to do like this, or like this. And notice how my feet are in line. You don't want your feet in line. That's going to make you real wobbly. So go ahead and step out at a nice comfortable distance. So step out nice and wide and down. I don't want you way out here, but step out like so your feet are about hip width apart. So about hip width apart, stepping out nice and far, descending straight down and back up. We're going to alternate each side, and we're going to be ready to go in 5 seconds. Here we go. 20 seconds of lunges, alternating sides. Stepping out nice and wide, taking nice long steps, descending straight down, driving up through that heel. Really up through that heel, rest. All right, back on. Try to keep a nice steady pace. Same as on the dips, if it becomes too much, just take a little break and get back into it. And rest. 2, 1, back on. Really drive through that heel on the way up. Don't allow that knee to cave in like this. Really drive straight up and rest. 3, 2, 1, back on. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Halfway there. 3, 2, 1, back on. If you need a cushion for your knees, feel free to use one. And rest. Back on. Three, 2, 1, and rest. And back on. Nice work. Rest. This is going to be our last set in 3 seconds. 2, 1, and on. There you go. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1, and rest. We're done with our lunges. We're halfway there. We've done 1 upper body, 1 lower body, and we have 1 more upper and 1 more lower. So our next movement I usually do from a bench, but we're going to try it from the floor just for versatility of where you can do this one. You're going to grab, I'm going to go a little bit lighter than that. You can probably do more weight than you think on this one, but it takes a little bit of getting used to just stabilizing. So I'd start out pretty light. So this one is called a bird dog row. So a bird dog exercise is when you put out your opposite hand and opposite arm, just like that. This variation, you're going to grab a weight in your hand. You're going to extend that opposite leg, and from here, you're going to row with this one. So notice I brought it back. That's just to get a little more length, and I'm pulling to about my belly button. Keeping that elbow by my side, and then opposite side. So we'll do this one together. Let's do alternating sides, like whole rounds. So we'll do 20 seconds on one side, 20 seconds on the other side, alternating back and forth, so that we'll do, we'll do 4 rounds per side. As I said, it's really a stability type challenge, trying to counterbalance that weight and keep that leg nice and extended. So when I get my timer ready, we'll go in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're on. Grab that weight, really keep that opposite leg extended. Stay in a nice plank position, nice hands and knees. Got 3, 2, 1, resting. Then we're gonna switch sides for this next round. So for me, I'm gonna have that weight in my left hand, right leg extended, and we're on. Really lifting that right leg nice and tall, nice and high. Three, 2, 1, and rest. We're going back to that original side. If it's too easy, you can always increase the weight. This weight is probably a little bit light for me. I want it to be a challenge. Three, 2, 1. Here we go, getting set up on our other side. And we're on. Pulling up to that belly button. Right along my flank, elbow by my side, and rest. When I say to my belly button, I just mean that's about where my hand is, and we're on. Whoop. Don't make that mistake. So I want my hand around the same level of my torso where my belly button is. So around about mid-torso, and rest. Switching sides, opposite leg, opposite hand. We're on. Keep that leg up, keep driving it, keep pulling that weight. Elbow by my side. 3, 2, 1, rest. Last one on each side. 3, 2, 1, get set up, and we're on. Last time around on this side. Two, 1, rest. Very last round, we're getting set up on our opposite side. Left hand, right foot, and we're on. Really keep that back nice and flat. Don't let it droop. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, we have one more movement. I click my screen so I can see. There we go.
Activity completed.
One more Tabata, and this one is likely to burn. It's going to be another one for our legs, specifically bolstering around the hips in this front hip area. Our hip flexors is what we're going to be working. So for this one, it's just a flutter kick. So I want you to sit your legs out straight. Now the key here is that you're going to sit your torso a little bit forward. And from here, we're actually going to do, I want to do this movement over a target. So you're going to sit a little bit forward. So I'm just here. So really to keep you from coming back here. Keeping that hip a little bit forward. From here, you're just going to come up and over, and up and over, up over, just like that. Staying nice and stacked, really using all these front muscles here. See where my timer went? There it is. We'll get started in 5 seconds. And we're on. Rest. And on. Don't let that torso creep back. Really stay nice and upright. Should feel it starting to burn right through here. Rest. Three, two, one, and we're on again. Using those small little muscles, make them do their job. Three, two, one, rest. Three, two, one, back on. Really tighten those legs, don't let them droop as they go over. And rest. Keep those knees straight. And we're back on. Really feel it through the front of your hips. May get a little bit of a cramp through the front of your top of your legs. Keep that torso upright. Little bit forward. 3, 2, 1. Rest. That's 5 out of 8, so we got 3 more rounds left. We're on. Nice and controlled. 3, 2, 1. Rest. We're in the last minute here. We're on. And rest. Heading into our last round here. Get nice and situated. 3, 2, 1. We're on. Nice straight legs. Good control. Keeping that body a little bit forward. Legs straight as I bring them over the weight. There you go. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. That's all the Tabata. We had 2 kind of upper body, 2 lower body, 16 minutes, and you're ready to get on your way.